What's up everyone, welcome back to another EU4 time-lapse, and today's video is really simple. We have taken the file for power projection and multiplied it by 10. So everything is going to be 10 times as strong, as you can see here in this screenshot of the boost that England started with due to their 22 power projection. They get 22 morale of armies and navies, 44 global trade power, etc. All of the countries are going to have these boosts based on whatever power projection they have at any point during the game. The more power projection you have, the more absolutely broken your country gets. And with that, let's take a look. Early on, the countries that I expect to really do well are your Ottomans, your Ming, your England. This time lapse is really built to make the strong countries stronger, because they're the ones who are going to get to win early wars and really start getting that ball rolling. Actually, just seeing the Great Horde winning a war against Nogai early on, that could be huge for them in their ability to fight, say, Muscovy, having that huge morale boost to their armies. But Muscovy beating Novgorod, now they've got a huge boost, maybe enough to match what the Great Horde was able to get. That's sort of what we're looking at here. Countries that win wars, especially wars against rivals, are going to be put in a position where they can really have an advantage over the countries around them. We've got England, who has almost managed to unify the islands. They are taking Scotland, they are taking Ireland, and they actually just got knocked off the continent by France. I don't know which one of those ones we're going to see come out on top, but I would expect one of those European colonizers to really dominate. I'm also expecting to see here a strong game from the Ottomans because, I mean, it's the Ottomans. This is literally just a major buff for them. And so I would be surprised if they were not able to take their already strong position, get some power projection, and really advance off of that. And the fact that they haven't really done much of anything outside of take Byzantium and take, I don't know, the little red country whose name is evading me right now, I don't know, I expected more out of them. Elsewhere in the world, Ming is going really aggressive. Huh. That is interesting. Ming, and there it goes. Literally every single time in these time lapses, when I look over at Ming, they start to lose stuff. But they were really pushing into that Indochina region, and it'll be interesting to see if they're able to hold anything in their shun. Alright, I'm going to stop talking about Ming because clearly it does not end well for them. But some of those countries popping out, we'll see if they can pull anything. Mongolia is doing pretty good for themselves. They just had a little bit of expansion. The Ottomans have managed to start pushing the Mamluks, and then it looks like we had the two Sicilies formed, because that in North Africa right there is the Sicilian Maghreb. That's that gray. So that's not something we see every day. I do like to see those formables pop up when they do. Spain appears to be the primary colonizer, and actually Portugal didn't do much colonizing at all. Ethiopia is quite strong themselves. It'll be interesting to see if they can take advantage of a weakened Mamluk. And they could really expand. Maybe we see Axum, but probably not because the AI is incompetent. The Great Horde is doing really, really well for themselves, although the Ottomans are starting to push into their territory. And normally that Austria we'd be looking at and be like, man, that is a strong Austria. They have managed to take Bohemia. They've managed to take Hungary. But I don't know with the Ottomans next to them. I mean, if they can get enough, I mean, we're sort of at, if you can get 10 power projection above someone else, you've now got an extra 10% of morale of armies. Things could swing really quickly. Now, that is not something that you see every day. That little bit of blue in southern England, England is being hit by the French. The French have a position on England that could put them in a spot where they could just breeze through England and take the islands and knock England out of the game. Something that does not happen very often because the AI has trouble getting over those borders. Russia is starting to expand, but Sweden, I mean, that's Sweden taking Norway, and it appears that they've taken parts of Denmark. Maybe they can push Russia back. They'll probably just get wiped out because I even mentioned their very existence. The Ottomans are finally starting to do what I expected them to do, and that is to expand rapidly. The Mughals did form, so that's kind of cool. It'll be interesting to see what they're able to do. They do have all those idea groups that make them really prone to expansion, but I don't know, with that Ottoman next to them, they really are not in a great spot. That Austria could have been something amazing. Could have been something absolutely amazing, but being dropped into this world with the Ottomans right there, and they are. It appears that they are starting to be pushed back a little bit. And actually, Ethiopia surprisingly was not able to take advantage of a weakened Mamluks and is actually getting pushed back as the Mamluks are attempting to flee the Ottoman. They are pushing the Mamluks into Ethiopia, and Ethiopia is just dying. Is that John? Yeah, interesting. That is, it's a strong country in India, but not one that we see as sort of the dominant power in India very often. That is Jaunpur. That is really awesome to see someone that isn't Bengal doing well. I really, really like that. West Africa, the Bonamon and the Fulo appear to be the dominant powers there. And there actually aren't, I'm going to guess that blue in West Africa is probably France. But there's not a huge colonial game in Africa. And that is, I just looked at the time and I glanced at it and read the time wrong. And I was about to say, and that's the end of the time lapse. But no, we've got about 60 more years. So this is the fun part about doing these completely uncut and unedited, is I can't edit out that mistake. Interesting New World, and I don't know if it's because of the fact that the English really didn't do much colonizing, but there was Newfoundland at one point. But we do have the United States forming, we do have Mexico forming, but that Iroquois is really strong, and they just formed one of the confederations, and then there appears to be Creek Hudson Bay, so it appears to be a really strong creek going on over there. Mecklenburg just took the Nordic states. That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. The Ottomans just continue to expand. And there it is. That giant creek. That is awesome. Seeing that really, really powerful creek over in the New World. China continues to just fall apart. Absolutely. I need to do a time lapse where we just buff China because they struggle so hard. And with that, that is actually going to bring us to the end of this time lapse. There it is, with the Ottomans just dominating everyone. The Mughals doing pretty well for themselves, and the Creek as the winners in all of our hearts. Let's take a look. In Europe, we have a really, really powerful France. They have started to push a little bit into Spain. They control the Tunisian region. They control chunks of Italy, which is just an absolute mess. They control Scandinavia, which means that they're, well, the real winner. And they are starting to invade England, and so that's not going to end well for them. We've also got Westphalia. That is quite a powerful Westphalia. It looked like they were trying to go for Germany, but not much you can do when the Turkish horde is upon you. I have so many questions about Mughal Scandinavia. So the Ottomans decided to go with a republic, so we actually get Turkey instead of the Ottomans. Japan's out here just taking all of Manchuria. I love the idea that not only did the Mughals need that port in like Russia on the Atlantic Ocean, they also created this long line through Africa so they could get a port in the Pacific Ocean as well. This is one of the least unified Australias that we've seen in a while. There appear to actually still be Australian Aboriginals here. That is something. So we do have the Oshega Federation. They appear to be being invaded by the United States. Not surprising there. And that creek is just beautiful. The French Antarctic in Brazil. I'm so confused. My goodness, the Oreat, one, are not in the Oreat territory anymore, but they're also split into 5 pieces. Yes, that little bit of tan in Korea is also the Oreat. Religiously, Protestantism just straight doesn't exist. There's a little bit of Anglican, but I don't see a single Protestant country on this map. Orthodox is Russia, not surprising there. Sunni and just Islam in general really dominant, and then obviously Catholicism because of the fact that they were able to stamp out Protestantism. Culturally, I'm a big fan of, we've got the Dutch in South Africa, we've got the Mexican culture in, what is that, like Kansas and like North Dakota. We've got Muscovite didn't spread across the northern region there. It looks like other people were able to colonize Siberia. Normally we just see like Russian going across the top there. Dynastically, the von Habsburgs lost Austria, so they just went to Russia. And outside of that, because the Spanish are a republic and the Ottomans are a republic, there is major gaps in the dynastic map mode. Economically, as normal, Europe is doing the best, but surprisingly, usually Africa is the one that really gets rocked. South America is an absolute mess here. It looks like they have like 1 or 2 provinces that are doing well, but they are really, I mean, when the French named it French Antarctic, they might not have been wrong. That is pretty devoid of development. And finally, the 8 great powers of the world. We have got in first place Revolutionary Turkey with 4,344 development, followed by Revolutionary France with 3,126. Spain in third place with 2,996. The Mughals with 2,820. Jaipur with 1,444. Mexico with 1,373. Malacca with 1,330. And Westphalia in 8th place with 1,213. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any ideas that you would like to see a time lapse of, if you want something in the game files change, if you want a country buffed, if you want whatever you guys want to see, leave a comment down below. And if it's something that I am able to do, I will look at getting it done. And hey, while you're down there leaving that comment with your idea, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We are on the push to 1,000 right now. So hit that button, hit them as many times as you're able to, which, well, think about it, it's once, but hit it once, and I'd appreciate that. And with that, thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next one. Wreath out.